All right, Deke. You said you was struggling with defending and positioning mostly. So first, I'll hit up a free play session just to talk through some basics, and then I'll show you one or two things you can do to keep an eye on it. So first thing we're gonna talk about is the shape of the pitch. Right, it's in 4 quarters. Do you see that? This is defensive half, right? So defensive left quarter, defensive right quarter, and then this is the half that you're attacking. So this is the front right, and this is the front left quarter, right? You see that? So, worst thing you can do, I don't know what rank you are, you haven't told me much about your style of play or anything, but assuming that, you're near beginner, because this information is useful for everyone, so I'm going to spell it out. It's bad if all three of you are in the same quarter. That's just simple facts, right? Now, what you'll find, and especially as the ball gets faster, is that when you make a play, you might be like making a play and there might be a guy right behind you, and that's so that if you run out of boost or if you fumble or whatever, and also the angles, right? If I was like here and I bop it, then a guy who's sitting right next to me, like say here, he's got a good angle on that then, and he can take over on that ball. Does that make sense? So you might find 2 people in the same quarter quite often, but you don't want 3. And if you're playing in twos, obviously that's totally different rules apply. If you play in twos and you both find yourself in the same quarter, you've got the same problem, right? There's 3 quarters that are totally undefended. The idea is that you're trying to stop the opponents getting it in this box, yeah, in this like oblong shape at the end there. You don't want the opponent putting the big round thing in this sort of oblong thing, right? Well, what I see a lot of people doing is defending their entire half. They'll like defend that shot. Well, why? It's bobbling nicely to me there. I might as well leave it and wait, What's the point in defending shots that aren't on net? That's the first thing. Alright, so coming from a goalkeeper's perspective, I was a goalkeeper at school. I was a goalkeeper for a number of years. I played 5-a-side football after school as well, so I was like on a few different teams in goalkeeper, and I can tell you that you've got a habit of sitting on the line, right? When you first start out, you're going to want to sort of sit on the line. I want the ball to sort of slow down and stop so that I can chat, right? Keep getting distracted by it. So yeah, you might want to sit here, but it's bad enough in real life, but it's even worse in car football. In real life, you've got no momentum. You've got you're giving them, you are this tiny little object, yeah, and you're giving them the full size of the net, right? The closer you get to the ball, the smaller the net becomes. Oops, like when I press my look back, I take a shot. That's really annoying, but anyway, point that I'm making is the closer I get to the ball, the more chance I've got of defending a shot, because you don't actually have to touch the ball. You just have to get between the ball and the net, right? So to a certain point, if you're challenging here, sort of at this distance, you can cover the entire net if you sit in the right place. And so that gives your friends a chance to get back. So now we start talking about rotations. When you're on the ball, front man, first man, essentially you want to be making a challenge. If I've got control of the ball, right, and a guy comes and challenges me, there's a good chance that I'm going to just pop it around him, because I've got all sorts of different angles. I can put it anywhere I want, right? So the first man comes in to make a challenge to force me to move that ball away from myself, right? That leaves the ball open so that the second man can then come in. First man's challenged, he's missed, but the ball is now sent open, nice and easy to read, and the second man goes for that shot. Their second man is going to challenge that, and there's a good chance that the ball's just going to ping out randomly, and that's where the third man comes in, right? Because now the first man and the second man are out of position. When you're in third man, if the ball's coming at you, the last thing you want to do is flip at it, because all they've got to do is just nudge it, and now it's an open net, So when you're third man, you're following the ball, following, wait until the last minute, trying to control it, trying to close down their angles, right? If I just sort of nudge it, try close down their angles. So there's the angle, I'm trying to close it down, Ball's coming in, I'm here, I'm between the net and the ball. I'm not worried about getting the ball, I'm worried about giving my friends chance, because my friends are over here, they've got to come all the way over here, get boost, come all the way over here to back post, focus on the play, work out which way the ball's going, where they need to be, because you've suddenly gone from third man now to first man, and it happened so quick, and that's why it's a rotation, right? First man comes in, he misses the ball, second man comes in, his ball gets challenged, third man comes in, he's got to shadow defend, and that's what we call it shadow defending. The idea is very simple, okay? If you stay back here and wait for a challenge to come, and then you're going forward, you've got one opportunity, right? If I miss that ball, it's past me, it's going in. Whether I flip at it, whether I control it, whatever. But if I start my defense here, like midline, right? So imagine this is the shot coming through, and I'm at third man, I'm here, yeah? I can suddenly, I've got all this space to save it. You see what I mean? Like, as the ball's travelling, I'm like, imagine it's coming alongside me now, I'm travelling with it, you know? And I've got time to make that save, to adjust myself into the position that I need to be. Alright? So remembering two things, the most important. Is your team attacking or is your team defending? If this is the opponent's goal there, just because the ball's there rolling that way doesn't necessarily mean it's not your team on it, right? If I get it here, I'm going to need someone in that box, because the chances are I'm not hitting that shot. The chances are they're going to have a defender there who's going to like knock it. It'll end up just bobbling around here. So if I'm up on that wall over there, I'd like a guy to be here, right? But then as soon as their defender challenges and knocks it back over this way, my momentum is bringing me this way, right? So you are no longer needed. There's already a dude there. So now you want to come back. Second man's challenging. He's over there challenging. I'm over there trying to collect a pass. You're now third man. But look where you're defending. You're not defending all the way back in the net because your team's still on attack. You're defending here, right? So then the ball goes around the same situation. It ends up in the same corner, and now you're first man and you're bopping it off this wall. And then you're moving over here to where second man is. If they haven't picked up a pass, maybe you can finish it yourself. Do you know what I mean? Meanwhile, the guy who was here, he's moved back because he's had his chance. Keeping momentum, keeping it going. Opposite to that, if they get the ball, they've got it now, they've like belted it down. Whoever is here, third man, their job is now very simple. Get in between that ball and that goal. Shut down this angle. Keep it in that corner over there. That's your safe corner. If it goes in that corner, you leave it. You come back. You rotate back. Because you've got a dude here. He's watching. And he saw that and he can see the angle. Do you see what I mean? He goes for that angle. He gets challenged. He comes back. He comes back to the back over here. Because the guy who was in the middle, he saw that challenge and he saw where it's going. And now he's up here. Meanwhile, the third man has probably, because he's in this quarter, he's got that covered. Your third man has probably come up this side, right? So now you're out of position because you were the one that made the save or whatever. You're back here. You watch one of you guys go up there. You watch the other one go up there. You've been challenged, so you're like fumbling a bit. You're out of boost, whatever. You kind of come back. You're going to get boost. You're going to check what's going on. Where's your guy? You should have a guy over there and a guy over there, which means you're making your way slowly up to the midline. You're keeping an eye on where the ball's going. Is it staying in this corner? Is it rotating around this corner? Is this guy looking for a cross? Because if he crosses it, then you need to be there, right? He's going to aim for this back post to get it past the defender. Yeah, you know all that. You're not here for defense, for attack lessons. You're here for defense lessons, sorry. Okay, so opposite situation. If they fire it at the back post, if you're front guy, there's not really a great deal you can do about that. If you try to go for it, if you're here and you try to go for it, a good chance of a double commit. That's on your back post guy, really. Your back post guy should be roughly here. You know, he's basically come from here. He came back, he got his boost, he's spinning round, he's got a lot of momentum, so he's trying to slow down and stay near back post, and that is allowing you to take the challenge, but you've obviously sat dead because you can see he's got a better angle at it. So fingers crossed, he's back post and he's seen that, and he's gonna like come up and make a play that direction. All you've got to remember is like, if it gets to you, you're the third man back, and you find yourself on the line with like low boost. you're done. It doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? At that point, it doesn't matter. So that's 10 minutes over anyway. That's your free lesson. I'm joking. Hit me up if you want any more info. Yeah, as I said, this is obviously just general advice. My Xbox stops recording after 10 minutes, so you've got a frozen image now. I would suggest that you hit the Shadow Defense Training Pack. It is amazing, and good luck. Have fun.